to the main event. Okay, so we are going to talk about our Tim Holtz Painter's Palette program. So a few weeks ago, I teased this during our kind of forward-looking program, kind of what are some of the things that are coming for Cotton Cuts. And I talked about, we were going to be featuring Tim Holtz fabrics. And so this is a program that came to us via Free Spirit. So Free Spirit is the manufacturing company that produces Tim Holtz fabrics. They've been together for a long time. This is something they've had a lot of interactions over the years. And so Free Spirit has put together a program where every month for 12 months, for a full calendar year, they're going to release 10 exclusive Tim Holtz prints in a color theme, in a color story. And so we have all of this on our website. So if you want to go back and see, but the first month is going to be pink. And so these are going to be Tim Holtz prints. There's 10 of them that have all been recolorized pink. Then next month, it's going to be red. And then next month, it's going to be orange. And so each month is a different color story of Tim Holtz prints. And so for those of you that may not know, who is this Tim Holtz guy? Why are we spending a whole show talking about him? Why is this cool? Why should I care? And so Tim Holtz is a fabric designer that specializes in vintage and urban. I had to write these two words down because usually when you think about vintage and you think about urban, they don't typically go together. But what Tim Holtz does is he finds kind of lost nostalgia artifacts, pieces from the past, and then he recolorizes them into a modern palette so they have kind of an urban feel while all still maintaining low volume. So when you think about kind of the Venn diagram of vintage, urban, and low volume, they don't overlap very well, but Tim Holtz is able to do it pretty darn seamlessly in his fabrics and in his collections, which is what makes him so unique and so distinctive. You can walk into a quilt shop and you'll know almost immediately a Tim Holtz print when you see it, especially after I'm about to explain to you and show you what some of them are. So as part of this collection, we're starting with pink and we're starting with 10 different prints. And so Paula has printed these off for me. And so she had to print them off for me because these are not fabrics that are available now. These are fabrics that are going to be released as part of this program. So it's not like this is taking some old Tim Holtz fabrics and repackaging them. These are all new colorizations of some classic Tim Holtz prints. We as quilt shops can only get them if we participate in the program. So if I'm not actively participating in the program, I can't order any of these fabrics. They only come to us if we're participating in the year-long program. So when you see other quilt shops that are doing this, they're going to do fat quarters, they're going to do half yards. We're going to do a Cotton Cuts version of this. We'll get to that in a second. But these are fabrics that are only available to people that are participating in the program. And so when I was saying he brings old found things new again, here's a classic Tim Holtz print. Let me see if I can get the cameras to focus on it. But it is actually those vintage little tickets, raffle tickets that you have at schools and fairs these days. And so these are actual tickets that Tim Holtz has found, and he scans them in and he recolorizes them. So this is the print to scale, so you can kind of see it. But then Paula also zoomed in, so you can see the detail. These aren't hold on, upside down. All right, and so you can see it's got a lot of the vintagey details that are in them. Deposit this stub in the box, keep this coupon, Orpheum Theater. Yeah, this one right here, I'm going to turn it around again. So this is like an Orpheum Theater ticket here. And so these are tickets he's actually found, and he lays them out, and then he digitally renders them, and they get digitally printed on fabric. So all of this lovely detail is maintained in the actual fabrics that you will receive. And so this is an example of one of his prints. He also gets vintage postage stamps, which is on this print to scale. Now, obviously, when we cut these and you cut them really small, you'll be able to see more of the detail. But these are his vintage postage stamps prints. Again, this is the one in pink. I apologize that some of the cameras, right, because of this medium, it might not visually look the right on your screen. We have all these on the website as well. And so this one is a zoom in of the prints as well. And so you can see the detail in the stamps, because it is a digitally printed process and not screen printed. A lot of the Tim Holtz elements that are in these can be rendered very crisply, very cleanly to make sure that your finished projects come out as nice as possible. Now, one of the things that I also loved as we were playing with these fabrics is he does vintage maps too. And so this is actually an aerial view of a city map. And you can see the streets and it's got the plot numbers. It's like an architectural drawing. That's another classic Tim Holtz statement, is that it has architectural elements to it. Guys, these cameras are like light and then dark and then light and then dark. But he has, these are plot maps. But when you cut them up, it's going to be very, very cool fabric design elements that are going to blend very well with the vintage other pieces that we're going to look at. This is a zoom in of that. So you can see it actually has the streets and it has the zoning and it has a lot of the architectural design elements you would expect. Tim Holtz does a lot of typography as well. So this is, collecting fonts that we used to use like 50, 60, 70 years ago and may or may not still use anymore, but he lays them out like a vintage typewriter. And so these prints are going to be recolorized and used, but they'll also be used as background prints in some of the projects that we're going to look at in a minute. And of course, we've got the zoomed in view. Paula's printer was working overtime yesterday and is probably completely out of pink ink. All right. Lori L is saying she used a lot of Tim Holtz when she was scrapbooking. Yeah, Tim Holtz does a lot of paper crafts. He does a lot of paper. He does a lot of scrapbooking and a lot of fabric. His surface designs are used in lots of places. You could probably walk into a stationery store and see cards and notebooks with his work on them as well. All right, then we have some postcards and these actually are tickets that were used on boats. And so obviously boat transportation was way more popular than it is now. So these are actually vintage tickets that people used for water passage. And so here's a zoomed in version of all the stamps that would have typically gone onto that ticket to be used. Guys, this is just like a visual smorgasbord of hunt and peck and I spy and kind of what sorts of things are you looking at. Then this one, so these are, I believe that these are like vintage hotel room keys. Someone's going to correct me on they're game cards. They're game cards. And so, back in the day when we used to have like gather and play bingo, we would have tons of game cards. And so these are just vintage game cards that are numbers and grids, super fun. And then to kind of offset all this vintage, Tim Holtz also does some floral prints very well. And he also has, I was just in Paris, guys. And so this reminds me a lot of like a Parisian background seat. Again, it's not looking so great on the camera. That's okay. It's all on the website. You will be able to check them all out there. Then important for us and something that you're going to see a lot from us is his collage print. And so each month, every month for 12 months, there will always be a collage print. Some of the other prints will rotate in and out. Some of them will change. Some of them will be recolorized and some of them will be in different configurations. But every month, guaranteed, there will always be a collage print. And so his collage print in pink is this guy right here. And so it's got pictures of people. It's got recipe cards. It has library cards in it. It has a whole bunch of different things that have been collaged together in a 24-inch repeat that we will be featuring. We're going to talk a lot more about how we're going to use that guy. That guy is, you're going to see that guy a lot from Cotton Cuts as we go through. And so, Tim Holtz, he's spoken a lot about this program. He's actually very proud of the program that he's been able to put on with Free Spirit, because it's a good way for him to kind of refresh some older designs, inject some new life into these really old nostalgic items that he's found and put on fabric, and be able to offer it to you guys to do fun and inspiring and creative things with all of these fabrics. All right, let me check my notes. And so, yes, so November is going to be pink, December will be red, and January will be orange. We actually have the full calendar up on the website, on the Tim Holtz site. And it has all 12 months posted there, so you guys can see what colors are coming. It's interesting. So the last month is going to be a wild card pack. So it's a little of this, a little of that. It's not really a color theme, but it's kind of, I'll call it a lagniappe because, I love New Orleans words. And so lagniappe is kind of that something extra, that bonus that comes at the end. And so, yes, the last month will be a lagniappe for us. All right. So let's talk about what Cotton Cuts is going to do with this. So like I mentioned, this is something that Free Spirit's offering to a lot of quilt shops. And so you may have seen it where it's like, hey, get your fat quarter bundle, your half yard bundle, your full yard bundle of all of these lovely prints and add them to your stash. And we looked at that and we're like, okay, that's great, but that's not really the cotton cuts way. Like, we had to do something cool with this. We have to give something that's going to inspire and get people to try these fabrics if you haven't already, or to love them more if you're already a huge fan. And so what we did is we created kind of 3 different programs to utilize these fabrics. And so the first program is actually going to be a block of the month program. I know that's not something we typically do. It's something we've done with floral states, but it is something that we do like and appreciate. And so when I was looking at these fabrics, they play really well for a scrappy sawtooth star pattern. And so what we did is we created an 8-inch block of a scrappy sawtooth star. And so in this case, all of the middle prints are the pink fabrics that are going to be offered in a month. And then we've offset it with a low volume Tim Holtz fabric. And so these are, again, guys, digital on, hard to see on the screen, go to the website. But in theory, what we're going to do is we're going to cut you triangles from all 10 of these prints and give you the option to make 3 different 8 by 8 inch blocks. Guys, these are cute. These are the tiny ones. These are the floral state ones. These are the 8-inch blocks that we're going to be finishing here. And so when we do this, these are all randomized in the images I am showing you. However, you're going to have the option to play with them, put them in whatever orientation you want. If there's a print in here that you just don't like say you don't like the maps version, just take it out, because we're going to give you extra triangles so you can play and create your own blocks. Each month you'll get enough fabric to make 3 8-inch blocks with the sashing. All right, let's see here. So Beth, so it is going to be the same pattern each month for this block of the month. It is going to be the sawtooth star. And so in theory, you're going to be able to lay them out and make 3 blocks. Most folks are saying floral states is a pretty quick project. You can sit and sew them pretty quickly. This is 3 blocks that are about that same size. All right, let's see here. Buy a Thread is saying the sawtooth star is gorgeous. Yes. So Buy a Thread on Instagram is saying that they're very specific prints, right? And so it's going to be hard to get them to all play together, which is why I really liked the sawtooth star, because I feel like I like the scrappiness of it. And by mixing them all up, it's very visually interesting. And you can come up with a lot of different things. In the middle, it's actually a pinwheel, which if you're one of those folks that is very you like the pinwheel idea, you can play with your fabrics and make a pinwheel inside each of your blocks. You can also pair up these fabrics on the diamonds and actually use the same fabric in both places and make them diamonds. Let's see here. So will each month be a different pattern? So for this block of the month, it is all going to be sawtooth star. So the ones I just showed you are ones that we randomly generated, but next month it'll be red. And so it'll be 3 blocks, 3 sawtooth stars that are also red. And then the next month it'll be 3 sawtooth stars that'll be also orange. The background fabrics we are going to change up, because sometimes the cream looks better against the pink and the white looks better against the red. And so that background fabric we're going to change up. And we're also giving you sashing, which you can include around each of your blocks as you sew them. Or if you don't like the sashing, just save it for something else. And no one's going to tell anyone this is your project. You can do what you want. And so I love this idea, because it's not like one block that everyone is making. Each person's block is going to be different, and each person's interpretation of these fabrics will be different. And some people might see something in what they get that is different than someone else's. And so I like that each person's blocks are going to be different, and each person's finished quilts are going to be different, because it all depends on how we interpret and use all these fabrics, which I think is really kind of where quilters can excel. Unfortunately, if you're one of those people that you need to know exactly what to sew, where to wear, this might not be a super great fit for you, or you just need time to play with it and come up with your own pattern. But this is going to be our first project, is this teeny tiny, and guys, it is a super teeny tiny little block. It is only 8 inches square. Sorry, they are over here, actually, my fault. Too many papers, right? So at the 8-inch level, you can see you can get lots of detail into these prints. And that's our first project. Our second project is going to be a pillow. And so I love pillows. I thought these fabrics would look fantastic as an accent pillow. And so we designed a 24-inch square pillow using these fabrics. So similar concept. It is a sawtooth star. We really like the sawtooth star design. It just worked really well with these fabrics for us. And so we've designed a 24-inch square pillow with an optional binding to make it 26 inches. Same thing. We're going to send you more triangles than you need to complete the project. So that way you can turn them around, play with them. If you don't like a fabric, you can take it out. You can do really whatever you want with it. We will send you all the fabric you need for the front, all the fabric you need for the borders, the binding, and the backing of the pillow. So it'll be a full project all in one. All right, I need to check in here something. So Terry is asking a question. Paula, that's a lot of points to not lose. Yeah. So thankfully, we're going to cut this so that we don't lose a lot of points. We're going to make them flying geese, and we're going to make them as many triangles. And so it's at a scale where it's going to have a lot, but this spinning seams concept that we've been introducing in Floral States helps keep it keeps it flat. All right, back to the pillows. All right, so 24 inches square, 26 inches with the optional border. You'll get everything you need. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't think anyone really needs 12 pillows that are 26 by 26, right? And so when we talked about this, we're like, we don't want this to be an of the month type of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to post the pillow kits on the website. They're going to be very limited, guys. I think we're only doing 40 pink, 40 red, and 40 orange. And so those are going to be available for pre-sale. And when they're gone, they're gone. We're only going to make 40 of them. If there's still any left after we ship, you can go back and check. But we're encouraging folks to get in. And if you really if you think this pink is going to look really good in your house, on your couch with your wall curtains, if you think your daughter's going to love it, if you think your son's going to love it, we are encouraging you to go in, and we're going to be offering them as a pre-sale, not as a subscription. If you do love all 12 pillows and you do want to have a different pillow on your couch for each month of the year, that is fantastic. You're going to do you, but we're going to release them 3 colors at a time. So on the website next week, when all of this will explode and go live, we will have the pink, the red, and the orange. All right, last. So we love our stitches at Cotton Cuts. And so our stitches are boxes of pre-cut triangles and squares and strips. And so we put them together each month, and then we mail them to you. And they're like a general box of Legos. Whenever you get the Lego sets that don't have instructions, that are just a random assortment of bricks and plates, and you can just play and put them together and then take them apart, and play and put them together and take them apart. That's how we like to think about our stitches. Is there triangles and squares that you can put together? You can put them on a design wall, you can turn it, you can play with it. And so these fabrics really spoke to us for a stitch it, because you can play with them, you can mix them with low volume, and you can get the fabrics to move in different ways. And so we wanted to offer a stitch it option. And so for that one, it'll be like the pillows. We're going to have a pre-sale for just the pink, the red, and the orange. You're going to get, I think it's over 270, 280 different parts and pieces with each of our stitches, which are just going to be great opportunities to just have a design wall, have a floor, have a table, play them. You can, I've actually gotten the kids over, Lincoln and Dominic, and had them just kind of play. And it's just super fun to just put the triangles and the squares. They're all built on the same grid, so they're all meant to interchange and connect and just kind of see what happens. Even when we've had employee contests with the stitch-its, they all see the fabric differently. And so sometimes they'll see hourglasses. Sometimes they'll see pinwheels. Sometimes they'll see stars. Sometimes they have envelopes. Sometimes they have postage stamps. There's a lot of different ways in which you can play with these fabrics. And I thought they lent themselves well to a scrappy type quilt top. So say of the 12 colors, you only like 2 or 3. Okay, so then you can get 2 or 3 stitches. You can put them together and make a scrappy Tim Holtz quilt just for you. And so again, these are going to be on pre-sale. We're doing less of these. I think we're only doing 20 stitches because it takes so much fabric into each one. So again, 20. And when they're gone, they are gone. Let's see here. Tishwa is saying, yeah, that'd be a lot of pillows that my dogs would try to claim because it would be their size. Yeah, it is a large pillow. It is definitely a statement pillow. But I think given the scale of these prints at the size that they're going to be cut, you'll be able to see a lot of the detail in it versus if we cut them too small, it would not be something that you could see on the pillow, on a pillow. Let's see here. Yeah, Tishua, definitely try the stitches. Our new release is going to drop on Sunday. Tishua is asking, when will the advents be available? As I said last week, yours will be my first. I want to make sure I save up. So those are going to be opening for signups on October 1st. So give us a couple weeks here. We are going to talk lots more about that. We have so many projects there. As Tim says, you do yet. Yes, we are definitely you doing you. All right. So then, okay. So I forgot a piece, an element. So if you prepay for the block of the months, for the 8-inch blocks, you will get free shipping. Everything else we're going to have to charge shipping for, guys. It's just the way of the world. The cost of shipping has gone up. We're just about to take another price hike on shipping. So we're going to have to charge shipping on all the other projects, which is totally fine. It's kind of the way that this world is working. But if you prepay for the block of the month and you're one of the first 20, you're going to get an awesome Tim Holtz recyclable bag. So if you are a super big fan, make sure you're one of the first 20 to sign up for the prepaid version. All right. And because we like this collage print so much that's being featured every month, we're going to be playing a game for everyone in the Cotton Cuts universe. And so it doesn't matter if you're Java, it doesn't matter if you're a Chroma member, it doesn't matter if you buy a one-time, buy 1 yard of fabric from our shop. Everything that ships out from our store in November is going to include a 2.5-inch square of that collage print. So you are going to receive something like this in your package, in your delivery. So say you are a Wild West detective, you are going to get a 2.5-inch square like this in your package. And so it's going to be a little bit of detail from the collage print. And what we are going to do is we are going to create a website and we're going to play a little game. We're going to post a zoomed in image from this collage print. We're going to pick probably 5 to 10 of them. And if it matches the piece that you receive in the month of November, you win a prize. So say, for example, on this one, we've got this 17 right here. I'm going to pick the 17. And we're going to post a picture of the 17 on our website. And if that is on your piece of fabric that you receive that month, you will win a prize. It's one of those kind of, it's going to be, we're still debating on a name on this one. It's similar to an I Spy. It's a stitch and seek. It's kind of it's just a sew and fun is really what it is. We're just going to have fun for this. But we want everyone to be able to play along with us and hopefully win a prize. And at the end, if all else fails, you'll have 12 squares of Tim Holtz fabric to be able to sew into a pillow or something fun. All right. Let's see here. They have to win because they're so stinking cute. Jana is asking, is there anything for prepaid detectives Wild West? So unfortunately, Jana, this is only going to be for things that we ship in that given month. We definitely want to make sure that we're including it in a package that's going out the door. And so, Jana, I know there's opportunities like with your borders and your backing, that's going to ship out. You're going to get a square with those. Yeah, there's just tons of, it's just anything that we ship out. So if we're having perhaps like all of our advent calendars are going to have one of these included in them and you get to play. Obviously all the Tim Holtz projects will have one in it and you'll get to play. All the new memberships that we're going to have, all the new mystery that'll sign up in December and start shipping in February, all of those will have a square in it. So you'll be able to play along. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think I got everything. Okay, so if you're interested in participating, we will do this like we did for Floral States. So if you go to the website right now, cottoncuts.com/Tim Holtz, there's an opportunity to sign up, to be given access to sign up a day early. And so we're calling it a wait list. It's an early sign up list. It's an early access list. If you enter your email in there, you will get access to sign up on Wednesday next week. Signups will go live for everybody Thursday at 9 o'clock. And so that's when we're going to email, or Thursday at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time. That's when we're going to email it out to, the tens and hundreds of thousands of people in our email list. That's when we're going to make it really wide. So if you are a lover and you want to get in and you want to get be entered to win one of the bags, all of that stuff, definitely get to the website today. Put your email on that list and make sure that you can get early access to it. Let's see here. How do I keep up? Yeah, I don't sleep. So Terry, that's how it gets all done is I don't sleep. My team's used to getting emails from me from 3 and 4 in the morning when I wake up and have an idea. So that's how it all gets done. And plus we just moved. And so we have bills to pay. So we've got to keep things going and keep things fresh. And guys, I saw this collection. I was inspired. I knew we had to do something with it. And I like the interpretation that we've come up with for this program. I think it's unique. I think it's different. I think it's cotton cuts. I think it's fun. And I really love that we're able to bring this to you guys in a different and interesting fashion. Okay, that is the end of everything that I wanted to talk about for Tim Holtz. If you guys have any questions about any of these programs, by all means, put them in the comments. Our team will be monitoring the chat today and through the next week. Put them out in the Cotton Cuts Fabric Facebook group if you're a member there. Ask any questions you might have. What is the login to get the email early? So there is no login. All you have to do is active now. You can go to cottoncuts.com/Tim Holtz. About 2/3 of the way through the page, there's a little like early access. Enter your email here, and that gets saved, and you'll get a special email next week to a page that's private that only you and everyone else who signs up for will have access to. And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye now.